very exciting information to share on supported self-rehoming. So I know you guys are really busy, so I'm going to try and keep this as short and painless as possible. And as we go, if you think of any questions, put them in the chat, and hopefully we'll have enough time at the end to get to them. We'll also open up a Q&A at the end, and we can address any questions there. So there are a bunch of faces and names that I do recognize, but for those of you that don't know me, I just want to introduce myself quickly. My name's Lee, and this is my 4th year with SDHS. I started off in HLE and did that for about 2.5 years, where I discovered that I really loved working with community cats. So I moved over to community cats for a while and did that. And then I was asked to help launch this program that we're going to talk about today. So supported self-rehoming. Let's take a quick look at our overview and we'll go from there. So in short, supported self-rehoming is a way for animal shelters to keep people, to help people rehome their pets without having their pets having to come physically into the shelter. In most cases, supported self-rehoming is more humane for people and pets because it allows pets to stay in a familiar environment while waiting to be rehomed. This also allows for the original owners to help select and potentially stay in touch with the new owners, and it reduces the number of family pets who have to come through the shelter. So ultimately, our goals are to decrease owner relinquishments. And at the same time, we want to shift the narrative and the mindset that the shelter is no longer the first place people should go when they need to rehome a pet. It should, in fact, be their last resort. We ultimately want to bring people and pets together by having guests actually lean on their community for support first. And then hopefully we can relieve some of the workload and boost morale at the same time. So the training today is going to focus primarily on our new supported self-rehoming program, Home to Home, mostly because it's mostly because of its shelter involvement aspect. So this is actually not something new. We've had Rehome by Adopt-A-Pet on SDHS's website for the last 5 years, and that's run by Petco's Love platform. So Rehome by Adopt-A-Pet, to take a quick look at that. As I said, the site's monitored by Adopt-A-Pet staff. It only caters to dogs and cats. So no other animals are allowed to be posted on there. And then we do get a small donation from each pet that's rehomed through that site as we host it. So why add another rehoming platform? Well, Home to Home is unique in that it gives us the ability to directly connect with our community and find out pretty much firsthand what they might need beyond rehoming. SDHS is one of about 100 shelters using this site at the moment, and we launched it at the beginning of February. So we're about 2.5 months in right now. The difference here is that Home to Home is monitored by a staff member of SDHS. So that's me at the moment, and I go in and I take a look at each and every post that comes through, and I have the ability to approve it or help members of the community actually add more information to their pet's description to help kind of boost their pet's ability to get rehomed. Home to Home also allows you to put pretty much any legal pet you want on there, and there's no rehoming fee asked, as well as no vaccination requirements. There's also a peer-to-peer foster aspect to it, and we've been able to pull a few animals from that foster side and offer guests our safety net program through the Home to Home website as well. You can access both of these platforms from the SDHS website, but I also want to remind you that there are other rehoming platforms out there, and these aren't the only two that we use. We have another one that we also have in our back pocket pretty much. You can find rehoming resources on Facebook and Nextdoor as well. So on SDHS's website, to get to the rehoming program, if you have a guest looking to rehome, that function is under the Services tab, and that'll give you a drop-down menu, and it'll say give up a pet, and then that'll let you access the start with rehome by adopt a pet or start with home to home function. So to get guests more comfortable with the self-supported rehoming, we want to highlight the benefits of SSR, and we've listed a few here. First of all, we want to make them aware that this is going to reduce stress on animals by keeping them out of the shelter. It leaves more resources available to animals with no other options. It gives potential new owners a chance to learn more about the animals directly from the current owner. And it gives SDHS the opportunity to connect with owners and offer them other resources. So as I said, I go in and I review the posts before they get published. And this helps me get a better idea of what the community actually needs. I'm able to contact owners and offer them resources. More recently, there was a posting for a gentleman looking to rehome his dog, and after asking him a few questions, I found out that he had recently had to move into another apartment, and for him to have the dog there, they were requiring that the dog was neutered. He didn't have those resources, and that's why he was going to rehome his pet that he'd had for 7 years. So I was able to offer him a spay and neuter voucher, and he was able to keep his dog at the end of the day. So this is likely something new to most people. So naturally, they're going to have questions about the program or questions about the whole process. And yes, there's going to be some skepticism, but we'd like to address any concerns. So we've got a few examples of questions that may come up and how to address them. The no fees thing, we've worked through that multiple times. And what we found is that charging someone a rehoming fee or an adoption fee doesn't guarantee that that pet will be better taken care of. But what we do know is that if those guests get a pet without having to pay for it, they have money left to actually provide resources for that pet. I know that we worry about the safety of all pets leaving our shelter because we see the neglect cases firsthand. But I can tell you that in the time I was with HLE, that there are as many cruelty cases in affluent neighborhoods in San Diego as there are in non-affluent neighborhoods. So it's not a very good indicator of the future care for a pet, whether they are paid for or not. Another concern that may come up is that home to home has no spay and neuter or vaccine requirements. But by directing guests to the home to home site, at least it gives us the opportunity to offer these services, where on other rehoming sites, we would not have the same opportunities. There's also no way for them to profit from posting litters on here. So backyard breeders, if guests are worried that their pets are going to be either taken off the site to be used as backyard breeder, we really should push that they have those pets spay and neutered before posting them. And then on the flip side, having people post litters of puppies on the site. Honestly, I've had one case so far that it looked a little fishy, and I was able to actually get in contact with the person, and they said no, that they had taken these. It was like a dachshund puppy and a husky puppy, and they had a friend that got deployed, had recently got these dogs, and now they were left having to rehome them. So it actually ended up being nothing at the end of the day. But if somebody does post a litter on there, we're also able to offer them resources as far as like litter abatement goes. And the being able to monitor the site, we can kind of keep an eye on that pretty easily. So community members will make bad decisions about who to rehome their pets to. The short answer there is that owners know their pets best. And for the most part, you're going to get a better window into that pet by actually speaking to the person that spent the most time with it. And then the last concern is that pets taken off the site are going to be used in lab experiments or as bait dogs. And there's just so much research into that that renders these claims unfounded. And I'm happy to pass along any information to anybody that wants more on that. We have seen an abundance of interest in the program despite the concerns listed. And I'm going to share quickly the first 30 days of our launch. So just a quick look at those first 30 days. We brought in 167 pets onto the site, and just over 40 of those were removed during the first 30 days. And the reason for removing pets varied from pets being adopted off the home-to-home site, and then also some pets were privately rehomed on their own. Owners decided to keep their pets. But the bottom line is that at the end of the day, there were 40 plus animals that were diverted away from our shelter, giving us the opportunity to provide resources for the ones that really needed it. We were also able to assist guests that qualified through our safety net program instead of having them relinquish their pets. And then there were people that were able to actually keep their pets because of resources that we provided. So to track these numbers, we use a dashboard provided by Home to Home. And this is a snapshot of the dashboard that was taken on the last day of our first 30 days. So it gives you a good idea of what pets we have on the site, breed-wise, and which have been adopted or removed. And we're able to search to see what the reason was for those animals being removed from the site. I was surprised by the spay and neuter charts. More than 48% of pets that were posted were fixed already. And of those that answered no to is your pet spay or neutered, a lot of those were actually birds, like pets that we don't require spay and neutering, like birds, a bunch of rodents, reptiles, and not to mention a whole lot of livestock. So how are people finding this site? So at the moment, there are really three ways. We've got the Google, and that hopefully people are looking for ways to rehome pets, and these popular rehoming sites are popping up. So as I say, we had a massive influx at the beginning once we opened it up, and since then we've had the Resource Center helping us. Resource Center actually does a lot of the pre-screening for anyone that's very obviously looking for rehoming outside of SDHS, and they'll refer guests that way. They've also recently added a blurb to their email that promotes home to home, as well as rehome by Adopt a Pet. And then there's admissions, who also play a huge role in promoting this program to guests looking to surrender. So they offer them resources as these guests make appointments to surrender their pets. So right now, the process that we're following, as I said, it's been about 2.5 months. So we're still working out the kinks, but this is the process for now. So myself, I'm available to help anybody that needs to post a pet profile. If they are technically challenged, I'm more than happy to assist them in building a profile for their pets. Once a profile is created, I review it, and then I contact the owner if any additional information is needed. Sometimes all they'll put in the description is brown dog, so I'll contact them. Either there's a messaging function on the site that I can contact them directly, and I'll kind of prompt them to add more information to make their pets as adoptable as possible. Then we also send them an email. Each and every post that comes onto, or each and every pet that's posted, their owner is sent an email that breaks down the resources that SDHS has and offers them pretty much anything they need. The two examples that we have here is the community pet pantry and behavior and training. If an SDHS surrender appointment's being created, I'll go out and I'll reach out to those guests as well while they wait for their appointments and give them the opportunity to post their pets on the home-to-home site. So there's a chance that that pet may never have to enter the shelter. One thing that we did add soon after launching was the waiver. So once a pet profile is created, I go in and then I add a waiver to the description. And this we've included to cover bites and really just help with kind of forcing people to be more transparent about the pet that they're putting up for adoption. And it really just reinforces that it's the responsibility of the owner to disclose anything. And this is kind of the breakdown of the points in the waiver. So we have a reminder that rehoming fees is not something that home-to-home asks, and to please report that to SDHS if they are asking for rehoming fees. Again, it's the responsibility of the current owner to disclose any bite history to potential adopters. The pets featured are not animals at the SDHS and are required direct communication with their caregivers through home-to-home. So if Resource Center, if you're getting calls for pets that are on the home-to-home site, please direct those guests back to the site to communicate directly to the pet owners through the site. It's also the potential adopter's responsibility to obtain and verify information about the pet's medical behavior and bite history. All information contained in the pet's description page has been provided by their caregiver and is not verified by SDHS. Dogs and cats rehomed through San Diego County may also be eligible for spay or neuter services, and we're offering that as long as CVS has the availability and medicals not to overrun. So once the waiver is added, I go ahead and approve the post, as long as there aren't any other red flags. We don't want people putting their personal information in the description, or making sure that there's no pattern of like an owner putting multiple pets on the site that they may be requesting rehoming fees. Also, that's another red flag that I'd look for, and then I'd contact the person creating the post and say, hey, I need you to remove this before I can approve the post. So this is what the posting looks like. It really takes 5 minutes, and it's pretty much just a good window into the pet that's up for adoption. I do ask people to provide as much as they're comfortable with, and sometimes I have to prompt them a bit, as I said, because you'll just get brown dog, guinea pig. I ask them to kind of treat it like a dating profile, get potential adopters hooked with all the good stuff right at the beginning, and then put the challenges at the bottom, so they're hooked before they read the bottom part. If you look at our home-to-home site, you will find over 100 approved pet profiles at the moment, and so we have no problem getting those pets onto the site. Between, I think, home-to-home and rehome by Adopt-A-Pet, there are over 170 pets combined. Yeah, there are a couple of duplicates from one site to another. But this program, we can't be successful without all of you. And we're off to a really good start. But the involvement for each department is going to look a little something like this. So admissions, we are going to be offering rehoming resources while guests wait for appointments. CE at community events, letting the community know that this is a great option if they are ever looking to rehome a pet instead of bringing it straight into the shelter. Guest relations at the moment are directing guests to rehoming websites and providing information on private rehoming options. Farms is hopefully getting the word out there that this is a good option for pets, and we're going to be doing a lot of promotion both for pets coming onto the site and then also pets coming off the site getting adopted. And then the resource center also offering information and directing guests to the site. So that's pretty much how we're getting pets onto the site. And now we need to start with promoting getting pets rehomed from the site. So adoptions, I'm going to kind of hone in on you guys in the next slide. But so far, like CE, GR, and Resource Center, they need to let the community know to look online if they don't find what they're looking for in the shelter, in the physical shelter. We're going to be reaching out to rescues and have them take a look at the site as well if they're looking for breed-specific rescues. And then again, farms working with them to get the word out there and do some social media promotions. So as I said earlier, we have no problem getting pets onto the site, and we're going to need a big push from our adoptions team to help get these pets adopted as well. We ask that you offer adopters that don't find a match in the shelter private rehoming websites, especially if they're looking for like a breed-specific pet. Right now, I've got a Doberman Pinscher, 2 golden retrievers. What else is on there? But yeah, there's a lot of a golden doodle. There are a lot of really cute animals on that site that nobody knows about. So we really want to push people that are leaving the shelter empty-handed. And that information is going to be on the adoptions resource list. And then let guests know that online rehoming options are available. And it's not just for cats and dogs. Like I said, we've got absolutely everything on there. And we've got a horse, pigs, there's at least 1 ball python, bunch of reptiles, birds, I think a couple of fish. There's a lot going on that site. And that guests also have access to the rehoming sites via the SDHS website. And I know this looks like a slide that we looked at previously, but this is the adoption side. So they would click on the adoption tab and then the drop-down menu that says pets being rehomed. And they can browse all the available pets that are available on the home-to-home site, as well as Adopt-a-Pet. So some talking points that might come in helpful. So when we talk to guests about the program, we want to highlight benefits of private rehoming. And we also realize that it's not going to be a good fit for absolutely everybody. So have that in the back of your mind when promoting the program. We want to acknowledge that for those giving up a pet, that it's not easy, and rehoming privately can help ease that, or some of that stress anyway. Most people start their search for adoptable pets online, and the benefits are that pets go directly from one loving home to another, bypassing the shelter entirely. I think we all know that no matter how well resourced a shelter is, it's still a very stressful environment for any pet. And some pets don't do well in shelters. They don't present their best, and this often results in a longer stay. And again, private rehoming gives the owner the opportunity to find the best new home possible for their pets. They actually get to be part of that process, and potentially could stay in touch with the new adopters. Again, we're going to also continue to promote spay and neuter and vaccinations, microchipping, and other resources for pets adopted through the site. All right, so if anybody is looking to contact me, please give me a call internally. If you have guests that have questions, give them the rehoming at sdhumane.org email address, and I'm happy to answer any questions. You can also find the home-to-home sites at home-home.org and the Rehome by Adopt-A-Pet at rehomeadoptapet.com. I think that's us. Any questions? How are we doing there? Anything, Lauren? Nothing in the chat?
I don't see any questions in the chat. That was great, though.
All right. Yeah, so if you guys do have any questions, reach out to either myself or Lauren, and we could absolutely help you with any hiccups that you might come across. But otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out today. I really appreciate it, and I know you guys are busy, so enjoy the rest of your day.
We will be sending out a PAC member alert, so everybody will be getting some links and some questions, some Q&A that should be coming out early next week. So, so yeah, thanks for everybody helping.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Stacey.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys.